State Recreation Area. Schramm Park is located about 10 miles south of Gretna and 6 miles west of Louisville on Nebraska Highway 31. Schramm Park is nestled in the hills along the Platte River. This here is the playground area. It was renovated within, I believe, the past 5 or 6 years. So it's a modern playground, and to the left, where we started the scene, and there in the distance, there's a picnic area, and that's a pit toilet that they have there. They do have modern facilities, restroom facilities, at the bottom of the hill. This playground is on the hillside. And this is my son. He enjoys playing here at Schramm. It's really a great place to take your family, use the playground, go for a walk, have a picnic. Good any season. We're here in late fall and just kind of enjoying the scenery. Had a particularly nice day. The park was originally a privately owned fish hatchery, which became a state fish hatchery in 1882, and it was operated until about the middle of the 20th century. They had carp, they had salmon at some point. These are the original ponds from the hatchery. There are still fish in here. I believe they're stocked now. And then there's a boardwalk along these ponds. They're called the canyon ponds. This is a fish feeder. You can pay a quarter and feed the fish. One of the popular things to do here on the boardwalk. And really a nice walk any time of year. Here's a view of the Hatchery House Museum. This is looking south toward the river from the canyon ponds. Here's a postcard from around 1910 of what the hatchery house looked like from the canyon ponds, from the same view you just saw. And then here's the view again. The Schramms owned some of this land and donated it. The Schramm family did, and the state took whatever land they owned and kind of brought it together. In the early 1970s, they made Schramm Park State Recreation Area. Here is the trail. There are 2 mile-and-a-half loops of trail. They are heavily forested trail for the most part. The terrain is pretty mild. There are some hills, so it gets kind of moderate, a little bit rugged. This building here was, I believe it was originally part of the fish hatchery when it was in operation. Now it's a maintenance building for game and parks. And here's some of the scenery. We were there around sunset, and in the late fall the sun goes down a little bit early, but we got some nice pretty views through the trees of the sun setting. This is a staircase on the trail. These stairs have recently been redone. Before they were kind of treacherous, but now they've been redone. They're a little better shape now. This is a view of the meditation shelter. The meditation shelter is kind of set off along the path where you have a chance to go and kind of look at nature and relax, meditate. Here, as you can see, you could watch the sunset. You could probably be up early and watch the sunrise from that location. So, nice little secluded spot to take in some nature. We're on the first loop here of the trail. They call it Trail Loop 1, I believe. This is a view of that. And then this is on Trail Loop 2. This is a view of the bridge, which is over a creek. And then there's some what they call Adirondack shelters on the other side of this bridge. Here's a suspension bridge, a closer view. Because I believe at some point they used those because they had cross-country skiing, so people could take a break, get out of the snow, get out of the rain. You can use them now for that as well. And they may still have cross-country skiing, I'm not sure. I have never seen a cross-country skier out here, but I can't say I've been out here in the snow too many times personally. And then on the way out, the sun is going down. There's a nice view of the moon. Again, great weather when we were out here visiting on this day. Really enjoyed our time taking the trails and enjoying nature and the scenery. Here's a view of the hatchery ponds, which these hatchery ponds here have carp in them, and then here are the Canadian geese. Sometimes you'll see other waterfowl like ducks. There are herons that land here also, so if you're a bird lover, good spot. These geese, they're usually here year-round. You don't see them, or you don't see many of them in the middle of the winter, but sometimes there's a few that have been left behind by the flock. Speaking of which, they have recently put up a sign here next to the hatchery ponds telling you what is appropriate to feed the geese. It used to be that people would feed the geese bread and the fish as well, and I guess that's not good for them, so now they have a list of what you can feed them. This here is the Owen picnic area. I believe it's the largest of the picnic areas here at Schramm Park. On the left, can't really get a good view of it from this footage, but there's a small little pavilion with some picnic benches in it. There, you see it there on the left. And then scattered throughout this area are picnic benches, so it's a nice little area. Here's a historical marker that kind of documents the history. That's the trailhead for the loop, the hilltop trailhead. There's one at the bottom of the hill near the Hatchery House Museum. This is one of the picnic shelters here on the right at the hilltop, and this time of year you get some nice views of the Platte River. There's a couple, I think there's 3 or 4 of these that kind of toward the top of the hill of these little picnic shelter areas. This is the geologic display here in the limestone hills along the Platte River Valley. This has, I think there's some fossils in there that kind of shows you what kind of geology you have in these parts. And then this is the newly renovated Schramm Education Center, and they've expanded upon what used to be the Exarban Aquarium, and now they have new and improved exhibits. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.